Hello, this is Orangesherbet, and I'm back again with another Bikecast. And today we have with us Mimic again, and we're going to be talking about our anticipated games for the end of this year and beginning of next, and some thoughts, extended thoughts on DayZ and DayZ Standalone, because that's sort of the game that we've been into. And I've got to change my push to talk real quick. Hold on. You can say hello.
Hello, everybody. I would kind of like to start the game list off with Watch Dogs. I'm not sure what's your thoughts on Watch Dogs, but that looked like a very much one I want to play type game.
Is that the one? Is that the game where you can control like the power grid and that sort of thing?
Yes.
Yeah, that gameplay looks super nice, and it looks like the release date for that is that even gonna be on PC? I thought it was.
I
Yeah,
think it
and
is.
it's
Yes,
supposed
it
to
is.
come out in November, so that's definitely gonna be on the list. That one sort of blew everyone away at E3. For me, we've been hooked on DayZ, and I've gone back and forth on it. I get burnt out, and I always come back to it. But standalone's going to be a thing. We'll talk more about that a bit later. For me, GTA 5 is going to be I don't even know. I don't know when the PC version's coming out, but I'm going to be playing the shit out of that. I'm not going to be dusting off my PlayStation or anything for it, but yeah, it looks sweet. It's like the most expensive video game ever made, apparently.
And you're gonna be getting your Tiger Woods on.
Tiger Woods inside of it. Apparently, what Luigi said, it's 2K Sports did like the sports games within GTA 5. So, holy shit, that's probably gonna be like the biggest hard drive, or the largest game too for your on your hard drive. I wonder how many gigabytes it's gonna be. It's gonna be like 25 gigs or something. Who knows?
Yeah. It's
And
gonna be
earlier
worth
this
it.
year there were a couple. Definitely. I guess earlier this year there was a couple games that I enjoyed watching people play. I don't think. I guess I think this game maybe came out last year, but I enjoyed The Walking Dead. That game was cool. BioShock Infinite, that game looked awesome. Playthrough.
The Walking Dead was.
Did you
Go
ever
ahead.
play that?
Yes,
Was that good?
that's awesome. It is. It's amazing how each small little action that you do changes the outcome of the whole entire scenario for each episode and change the ending. It's so awesome.
Sweet. Yeah, the new Tomb Raider game was a big surprise for me. I thought it was way better than I thought it was gonna be. It was gritty and dark, and that was a nice single player game. I played the new Dead Island, and I had expectations of it being slightly better than the first one. It turns out it was worse. I mean, I pre-ordered the game, and I played it through with two other people co-op, and the action was satisfying. The story was one of the worst. I don't know. This is some like B movie shit. The plot, and being that you pre-ordered the game, it gave you like a boost to your experience, and it gave you a weapon to start out with, and it made the game way too easy. Once you got guns, it was just like easy mode, and you never, even if you didn't have the best specialization for the weapons, you still would just use guns the whole time. And I guess on that same note, I'll mention Saints Row 4 being a bit of a letdown for sort of that same reason. Not the pre-order thing, but just overpowered abilities, and the gameplay just isn't really challenging. You just get kind of bored, and it's just kind of a grind. But yeah, the ending to Dead Island Riptide was one of the most laughable things ever. I don't even know what to say about that.
So,
But for me, definitely GTA 5 and Standalone, my anticipated games.
what was the average like gameplay time
For Riptide?
for
I
Riptide
think
and
that I think we I think we burned through that game in like 3 nights of streaming, and it was 12 to 15 hours or something like that. And for Saints Row 4, I think it's about 15 to 18 hours of gameplay if you just do the story. There's a bunch of side quests and stuff that would take probably another 10 hours or something. So quite a bit. In Saints Row 4 and Riptide are both very linear as far as the story goes. There's no different endings to it or anything like that. I guess there's a trend now. There's a lot of indie games that are making it big.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you ever played it. Awesome Knots
on PC, yeah.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's a nice action-packed game.
What's the premise? What type of game?
It's like a cross between Donkey Kong and League of Legends.
Weird. Awesome.
Something
I think
like it.
I gave away a copy of that one time. That game's been out for a while.
Yeah, and it's a nice little game.
So it's a platformer kind of. Okay, I see. That's interesting. Yeah, there's that, and then the free-to-play thing, which people have kind of gotten accustomed to that. I mean, a few years ago there wasn't a free-to-play section on Steam, but now it's flourishing. You've got Dota 2, and you've got APB Reloaded, and you have most popular games on here. TF2, that was the champion of the free-to-play genre. It really set the standard for microtransactions and everything on there. And I guess PlanetSide 2, I haven't really played that at all. People try to convince me to play it. I'd have to have a couple buddies to play with, I think, but I've heard a lot of good things about that. You've got things like World of Tanks and War Thunder, the military types of shooters. And I like Soldier Front too. I didn't mind that. That's a total rip-off of a game, but as far as a shooter, it's just kind of a nice casual game to hop into. I think those two things, the indie developers and free-to-play, are going to make a big impact in the future. They're certainly not going anywhere. And with Steam having that green light system, that really gives people a good chance. I mean, look at that game. It's 7 Days to Die. Have you? I haven't played it, but I've watched some gameplay on it. It looks pretty good.
I never played it.
It's kind of like, well, it's like a cross between Minecraft and DayZ. I mean, what else are you gonna say?
Are you serious?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, you go kill zombies and you build things, and you sort of like gather materials the same way. You're like digging through the ground and crafting things together. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
So, yeah, that's one that'll be. But it's a bit of an underground scene when it comes to that. I mean, if you were to, let's say you were to ask just an average person who gets all their information from commercials and maybe just word of mouth, are they going to know what DayZ Standalone is? Are they going to know what 7 Days to Die is? Probably not. So the games are going to have a huge impact through that type of exposure. Is going to be games like GTA 5 and Battlefield 4 is going to be huge. Yeah, that game's going to be great. I don't know if personally, I feel like I got to choose one side or the other. It's going to be Arma 3 or Battlefield 4, and I already have Arma 3, so I'm going to play that until I have. I mean, you only need so many games to play, and the Battlefield series, while it's good, it's never really been my style because I don't know, I like more of the sandbox style, and I feel like Arma 3 is going to have those types of mods and that coming for it. Well, the guys that we're friends with, the DayZ Epoch dev guys, they're going to be working on a project for Arma 3 coming up afterwards, and I'm going to be looking forward to that and just helping them test that. I think I don't I don't necessarily need to play every single game that comes out. I'm going to be very tempted to buy Battlefield 4 just to try it. It looks extremely impressive as far as large-scale battles and the destructible environments, that sort of thing. But I don't know. I have Battlefield 3. I haven't played it much.
It's nice to know that
as soon as I start.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah. No, as soon as I started playing DayZ, I quit playing that Battlefield 3 for the most part. So. But as far as stamina, go ahead, man.
DayZ never gets old. It does for if you play it consistently for like a week or two straight, but then you're right back at it because of the mechanics that it has. It has everything that you really need. It doesn't respawn everybody with all this gear so that they can, and these upgrades and everything so that they can just kill you and everything. Everybody got to strive and work to what they want.
As long as you're playing on a proper server, it's a true survival game experience, you know? Yes. It is what you make of it. So, as long as you're playing it the way it's intended to be played. So, I guess really briefly, I'll tell you what my background is with DayZ, and then I'll ask you to tell me what yours is. I started playing in alpha sometime in last July, and just started from the ground up, and it's before a lot of information was out there on the forums and that, so I got to really learn by doing and meeting people. It's not the same, but it used to be the Hive system, the official Hive, and that you could only play on those servers. No one had private servers, so you'd be working within those confines and just trying to make alliances with people along the way, and it's pretty interesting. So what about you? How long have you played?
This is my first year. I say earlier this year, around March. Yeah, right before my birthday, I started playing. I enjoyed every minute of it. It's extremely difficult when you first start off. So don't think that this game you just gonna jump in and you're gonna know what you're doing. Because especially with the new patches and everything. So an axe just won't work for you just like it used to. So
yeah, and I think to touch on that point, I think with standalone, it's going to be more user-friendly, but I hope that the challenge is still there. I think that, well, the focus is going to be on getting the zombie pathing to be proper, so they're not going to be zigzagging in front of you. It's actually, they're going to be definitely a threat to you, but you're going to have a better chance to track and aim and shoot at them versus the way it is now. The thing about the game is, if you were an outsider looking at the game, you'd be like, this glitchy piece of shit game, what is this? If you look at the zombie movement, it's pretty nuts. But we get used to it, and we love it for the flaws that it has as well. I mean, last night I was playing, and I was at one of the trader cities on an Epoch server, and I went up there's a staircase, and it goes on top of this castle that overlooks the trader. And I went to vault to get back on the staircase, broke my legs, just about died. But I thought to myself, oh man, this game. It giveth and it taketh away. Because I had so much money and gear on me. I just about lost everything just because of a glitch in the game, But that's not the first time it happened. If you watch Survivor games, one of the guys almost made it into like the top 5. And he opened a gate, and it broke his legs and killed him. That happened in the last Survivor Games finals. Ouch. Yeah, that was a tough one to watch.
And that's another thing that it brings to it, the money mechanic. It's pretty, wow, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's unique, and I don't see that being a feature for standalone, but it's definitely interesting. Experiment if they were to go, if say that some of the people working on standalone were to go and play Epoch and see some of the things they were trying out, they might be able to get some inspiration, if not necessarily copying what they're doing, but saying, hey, this is interesting how the players decide, okay, well, we're going to have to band together, at least 3 or 4 of us, if we're going to get anything done, because being a solo survivor out there, it's going to be very difficult for us to do anything, because everybody else is grouping up. So it creates more of a cohesiveness with the players.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want. That's exactly what you want. You want players to bond together.
There's still a heavy shoot-on-sight mentality, even in Epoch. You have to be honest about that, because people just don't trust each other no matter what. And that was evident in that encounter I had at that trader city. You know, I had this open dialogue with these players that were in a helicopter, and I said, hey, you know, I hear you guys. I said, I'm friendly. Of course, saying that is almost like saying that you're not. And it was just nuts. It was hard. But, you know, I went up there to the trader city and I said, hey, guys, you know, well, I said, hey, there's a car in there. Are you going to be friendly with me? And I started talking on direct. I said, I lowered my weapon. I'm coming up. And I heard the heli, and I went up the stairs to the top of the castle, and I looked down, and there was 2 dead players. And I said, hey, heli, can you take a pass over this trader city? There's 2 dead survivors down here, and I want to know if it's safe around. And they complied and landed on the castle. That was when I broke my legs and came down there, and they started talking to me, and they just about shot me. I lowered my weapon and I peeked and I said, hey, I'm coming up. Whoa. And then yeah, and you know, then it was cool, and they were very, very nervous as well, because they didn't know who killed the 2 players. But in Standalone, some of the new things that they came out and showed was that when you shoot an enemy, if they have gear, say, in their chest pieces, because there's different containers for different pieces of clothing that you have, and if you have a backpack, that's separate too. But if you're storing something in your pants pocket and you shoot the pants become damaged, and the items in there can be destroyed. So it gives you more of a if you're looking to loot the person versus just kill them, it gives you more of an incentive to try to take them hostage, or, you know, not injure
headshot
them. You know, try to negotiate. Yeah, or headshot, I suppose. So yeah, there's that. But it's interesting. But my thoughts on Standalone is they're trying to do too much, and I don't know if they understand their limitations enough. They did demonstrate that some of those things were working, but I just don't know how far they can take it. I have my doubts, but I'm waiting to. Like I've always said, I'm reserving my judgment till it comes out. I just don't have the high expectations that maybe some people do, and I don't necessarily hold them. I don't hold them accountable for the game not coming out. The only thing I hold them accountable for is giving a release date at some point, or giving the public like some sort of hope that it's coming out at any given time. I don't think they should have ever put a release date on it, given their high goals for the implementation of features. Basically, designing an entirely new game and not just an extension of the mod.
So, do you think when it be released, it's going to be as glitchy as the regular DayZ?
I see a lot of progress as far as the animations go. You know, if the zombie pathing and animations can be fixed, then I see great improvement. I mean, that's half the battle right there, is getting the zombies to be to look proper. Imagine how amazing DayZ would be if it had smooth running zombies. I mean, it'd be crazy, right?
Yeah.
But as it sits, I would be completely satisfied with just playing the mod and playing Epoch and testing out, you know, if people come out with new maps and all that, up until, you know, something comes out for even the Arma 3 mod, and not even really caring that much about Standalone, you know. But I'll be there with my $30 or whatever when the alpha is released, to give it a shot. I'm not going to be bitter about whenever it comes out, but I'm not going to.
I'm gonna be in line right there with you. for standalone. I'm gonna be in a longer line when Epoch mod hits.
You mean for Arma 3?
Here for Armor 3. I'm sure that they're gonna be
Yeah.
working on something as soon as the DayZ Armor 3 come out.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as they've fleshed out as much for the Arma 2 mod as they want, you know. And they're progressing pretty fast to their end game for it. You know, there's only so much you can implement, and I think this the house building and the modular base building is definitely almost the end game for them.
Oh, and that bunny hop.
They just the bunny hop's great. That's the Shack Tack movement, which is actually going to be in if you know what the Shack Tack movement is from. It's from well, there's a YouTube guy. His name is Dyslexy, and yeah, that's why the name is that's why it's named that way, because that's like his. I'm not sure if he did it himself, but that's where it stems from. Is his movement system. But yeah, it's such an it looks like pretty janky, but it's a huge improvement over the standard vault.
Yes, the vault. I get stuck sometimes when you vault over and you gotta lag before you start. See how that bunny hop is just a fluid motion.
Yeah, and you could do kind of a spin, like a circle. It's kind of cool. But yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, you can tell that I am very focused on DayZ and still really not caring that much about new games, but the next big one for me, other than Arma 3 and DayZ, for multiplayer, there's single player games that come along the way, but you really only play through them once, so they're not a huge deal. But GTA 5, and we don't know when that's coming out on PC.
So you don't. Okay, what about your expectations on The Crew?
Oh, the racing game?
Yes.
I saw the videos for that. That was actually one of my favorite, my favorite presentations at E3, because it was like I could see myself really playing that with a group of people. It looked fun.
Yeah, I kind of am hoping that it does hit this year and they don't push it back, because of what they're doing. They're trying to map out the whole entire U.S., which is great. I mean, as far as from what their scale is.
Yeah.
And
nuts, right?
Pretty much wait. Yeah. And I'm pretty much waiting on The Division.
Mm-hmm. That one too.
I'm not sure if you heard of that one.
Yeah,
that's pretty much
that.
it.
They're kind of petitioning to maybe bring that to PC. I don't know if that's actually coming to PC or not, as of right now. Now, there's some other titles that we left out, but it's I don't know if that's actually coming out for. Is that coming out for fucking PC? Let's see. As of right now, I think it's close. Oh, it's confirmed now. So, yeah. It was just confirmed not too long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. That's going to be very interesting. Don't know when. I don't have all the answers. I didn't really do that much research, but we'll assume that'll be coming out as well. I think I'm going to wrap it up there, though. Thanks for having a little conversation about some thoughts on games coming out in the next while. It's going to be exciting. However, I do have one closing thought. I think like half the games that come out that are hyped up suck, so I hope the next couple months will prove differently. I hope that I hope all the money that they spent on GTA 5 makes it a good game and it's not going to be a big flop, because ouch, that would hurt. That game costs like $200 million or something. It was like more than that. Ooh. Ouch. It's like more than some movies get produced. So. Yeah.
Well, GTA alone is just a big title, so it's gonna sell. They just hope that it sell as much as how much they put in.
Yeah. If the game's good, it'll sell even more. Very, very interesting. Alright, thanks for joining me, Mimic. And we'll see all you guys next time. I'll provide some links at the bottom, of course, for the Twitter and live stream and all that jazz. Bye-bye.